Welcome to Pressing Matters. I am here with my fellow Quilt and Tell podcast host, Tracy Mooney, and we are going to be talking about bias applique. All right, so I know what bias is and I know what applique is, but we're going to be putting them together. But let's start with bias. Explain what exactly do you mean by when we say bias?
All right, this is very easy. So you take a square of fabric, cut across the 45-degree angle, you have a bias angle.
Nice.
And so the good part about using bias is look at how stretchy it is.
Oh, yeah, that does.
Right?
That gives you a lot more stretch.
Right? So when you're using bias in triangles, you have to be careful. But with bias strips like this, where you're using it for stems, like in this example,
yes.
it is the perfect thing to use.
All right. Well, good. Okay, so we understand what bias is, and now this is one applique. So, Tracy, how do you do this?
Okay, very easy. So
Nice.
I've got my strip, and in this case, it's about an inch. So
right.
I may have been a little bit smaller on that one. You can use between 3/4 of an inch to an inch for this technique.
Nice.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold one edge in part way. Now, some people might fold both edges in or use a tool for this, but I'm going to show you just an easy thing to do. So I'm going to roll the iron right along here.
All right, and just kind of keep it even the whole
Right.
entire way through. Nice.
Right. I do this part way because the technique that I'm using, I'm going to stitch along where that fold is.
Oh,
and
okay.
then flip it in on itself so that all of the edges are contained.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that is a really, really good idea. I don't know that I've seen that technique before, so
It's
that's
fun.
great.
And it makes your applique really easy. So like I said, I'm just going to stitch along here and flip it. But I'm going to show you a fun thing that you can do before that.
All right.
So you see how this has a slight curve to it?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes with applique stems, you want to have a little bit of curve in
Right.
it, and sometimes even more than one curve. But I'm going to show you a fun technique. So I'm going to hold up the stem as I press, and look, I can move this
Oh,
along.
so you're totally using that stretch to your advantage, for sure.
And I'm also using, the pressing technique to my advantage.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, it gives you that lovely little.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there you go. And so now, if I lay this down on my block, I can stitch along here and follow that line, and then just flip it over, and it'll be a perfectly encased bias strip. And then I only need to stitch down this side.
that is brilliant. Oh my goodness, I have not played with a lot of applique, let alone bias applique, but now I feel like I'm ready.
I think you are.
Yay, thank you so much,
You're
Tracy.
welcome.
Panasonic.